The year is 1997. CRT TVs surged and Netscape were all the rage. Technology was evolving, knowledge was becoming more powerful, and Jenna Jameson was quite popular among fans in 97. And you know what else was popular? That little gray box known as the Sony PlayStation. 1997 saw the release of some of the best games, including Crash 2, Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, Final Fantasy VII, and Tomb Raider 2. Have you ever wanted to master these games? Search through every nook and cranny and collect all the items? Learn all the moves? Then you need a strategy guide. Strategy guides were a hot commodity back in the 90s. A full and richly detailed booklet describing all the ins and outs of your favorite games. But who wants to read all the information when you can watch it? Because reading is for pussies! Now you're probably wondering, how in the hell do you watch a strategy guide? With the power of VHS, goddammit! This is MTV GameBrain, a home video program released by MTV in 1997, and as the subtitle reads, the official PlayStation strategy guide. GameBrain tells the story of a man named Tim who gets bored of playing the same old games. One night he makes this all change when he creates a device that allows him to transport himself into the video games of 97. We first see him put himself into the original Crash Bandicoot, and this short funny montage of Tim running through various games ensues. We see him run right up to Crash Bandicoot 2 where he jumps down a hole and finds himself inside of Tomb Raider. Lara Croft speaks to Tim with some lighthearted banter.
That looked unpleasant.
Where am I?
So someone's finally made it in here. Plenty have tried, you know.
Hey, aren't you that Tomb Raider bird?
Well, it's Lara Croft usually.
Lara's voice actress in Tomb Raider 2 and 3, Judith Gibbons, actually voiced her for this very scene. Lara tells Tim that he needs to listen to the voice inside his head that he was mentioning. Enter the GameBrain, a seemingly disembodied voice that begins speaking to Tim.
Such a wuss. You must use your brain to beat them at their own game.
GameBrain is voiced by Dale Reeves, not a famous voice actor, but he has done a few roles such as Bill Clinton in Beavis and Butthead, as well as various radio and TV spots. The GameBrain begins the guide with a walkthrough of Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. From here we see how the film plays out. GameBrain explains how the essential tips and tricks work, as well as giving us the location of some secrets and goodies within each game, for the most part. Every once in a while there is a small quirky gag featuring Tim on screen.
What the hell is that? And how do I kill it?
You don't kill it. He's your friend.
That one always cracks me up. What GameBrain does is narrate to us, as if he was narrating the words off of a strategy guide itself. This would sound rather boring, but thankfully Dale Reeves provides this distinct voice that has the right hint of personality to it.
The more dough you get, the better stuff you can buy.
I could easily sum up this movie by saying GameBrain and Tim play through each game while having some light banter with one another along the way and end the video here. There isn't much substance to talk about, as this is supposed to be a viewable strategy guide after all. But thankfully, the movie is short at only around an hour and a half, and that Tim is a mild but entertaining character to a certain degree.
Hey, wait! I want to toss it. Man.
Couple that with the GameBrain's voice and you have something that'll give you a few laughs but also engage your interest simultaneously. The funny thing is they expect you to somehow watch the movie in conjunction with whatever game you were to be playing on your PlayStation. The VHS comes with this paper index showcasing timestamps of each game segment. That way you could go to that time and watch that part for your game. On the back of the cover it reads, GameBrain will help you master the hottest new games while allowing you to toggle between your VCR and PlayStation game console. Now that's all well and good, but toggle between your VCR and PlayStation game console? What the movie is basically saying is that they expected you to turn off the movie at that point of whatever game you were watching and go to the actual game so that way you could play it and then flip back to the movie to use it as your strategy guide. That sounds really cool and definitely over-ambitious for 1997 standards. Imagine you're just a regular kid, part of a regular middle-class family in the mid to late 90s. You were probably lucky enough to have a TV to use for your game console, have your own TV in your own room, because the only easy way to do this, you would have to use like two separate televisions, one for the VCR running the film, and the other one running your PS1 with your game. So, if you didn't have that luxury of that particular setup, then in that case, you would have to unplug the VCR and plug in the PS1 and constantly do that just so you can go along with what the movie is telling you about the game you're trying to play. That is fucking insane. But there is no other way around it, because that's basically what the thing is telling you. I don't see how else you would toggle between your VCR and PS1 so easily otherwise. In terms of this acting as an actual strategy guide, how does this stand on its own? The film isn't super detailed about every single thing in each individual game. It's more just a bare bones walkthrough to get you from point A to point B. This is not necessarily a bad thing. If they were to do that, then the video would go on endlessly. Remember, you are watching this, not reading it. If they included information on how to obtain this item, this ability, and so on, it would probably be almost 3 hours long. An example of a game that they could have done a better job with is Crash 2. Right before this, there is a video promoting Lara Croft, and by the end Tim is down to just his underwear, which I find pretty funny.
I gotta get back in there.
During this segment, GameBrain tells us simple moves and tricks to make it through.
In Crash Bandicoot 2, there are new ways to destroy boxes, attack enemies, and even a few new ways to die. You'll also find that it's sometimes easier to jump over distances with a long jump.
But he never brings up the bonus rounds or secret level passages. Hell, he doesn't even mention on how to obtain the gems. Once you get past the 59-minute mark, they only spend about 3 to 5 minutes on average for the remaining games, except for Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII was arguably the biggest, if not one of the biggest games of 1997. In turn, they gave this one the most coverage out of all the games on the tape, so it makes sense. It's just a shame because other popular PS1 games in 97 could have been covered on here, like Gran Turismo, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and Diablo to name a few. But I guess they can only get the rights to showcase a select number of games that they deem to be the most popular at that time. Overall, it is a fun watch to kill some time and definitely let you dive into some of that 90s nostalgia. It's very underrated and a long since forgotten piece of gaming media that has thankfully been preserved. It doesn't work well as an actual strategy guide, but rather a fun piece of entertaining content. There are a few uploads of the film that exist, so you can watch it without having to track down the VHS. I'll end off this review with some of the highlights between Tim and the GameBrain himself.
I don't know who you are or how you're even talking to me, but you gotta be more specific than that, bro.
I see. Not such a cyber genius after all, are we, Tim?
Hey, you're the big game brain. Why don't you help me out and quit screwing around already?
All right, I guess I'll have to spoon feed you.
Whoa, these guys are dangerous.
And so if you're running short on time, say adios and send his family your condolences. Just be aware that there may be a cost to letting too many of your cousins eat it. Hold on, Timmy. How much cash do you have on you?
But I don't have any pockets.
Well, everything here costs money, so for your first mission, you're stuck with what you have.
That's it? 10 nets? Hey, Cole, it's Crash. What's up there, you crazy bandicoot dude? Whoa. What's that all about? Hey, GameBrain, know anything about the new Crash game? GameBrain! GameBrain! Come on, help me out down here! GameBrain!
Damn it, Tim. I was just getting to know Laura a bit when you called in. You gotta learn to do some stuff on your own.
Hey, man, I'm in Crash too. Help me out down here. Give me a break.
All right.
Come on, baby. Do a little dance for me, huh? Woo! Give me the chickadee. Woo! Come on. Give me the rooster. Come on. Give me the ostrich. Come on.
This is just the beginning.
What?
Now I'm gonna make it a little bit challenging for you.
Huh?
Let's see you deal with this.
Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in hell, Demon Slayers.